Welcome. I'd like to share my meditation technique with you in case elements of it resonate with you as you embark and refine your personal meditation journey. The way I think about it is meditation is simply a vehicle to arrive at a state of mental stillness and mental quiet. In our daily lives, our mind is constantly plagued with top-of-mind thoughts and to-do lists swirling around our minds, clamoring for our attention. Meditation helps provide a brief sanctuary and a brief respite from this mental overdrive. Additionally, I believe meditation helps calm the mind, boost concentration, improve memory, and help forge connections and pattern recognition. Now, just like multiple lanes on a highway, so too are there multiple meditation techniques and practices that work for different people. And as you embark on your personalized meditation journey, and through time and through practice, you will arrive at a lane and a form that works best for you. My meditation technique is largely based on TM, and there are wonderful aspects of TM which I believe very efficiently helps tamp the mind down to neutral and down to a sense of calm. However, I found that there were elements of TM that were unnecessarily rigid and shrouded in secrecy. So over time, I incorporated elements of mindfulness and breath control, which I grafted onto the basic TM discipline to try and devise a meditation routine that works best for me. So my meditation routine consists of three main steps. The first is clear the mind. So eliminate all thoughts and all tensions from your mind. And a visual I find useful here is to imagine you're standing under a waterfall, and all your thoughts and tensions and negative energy and negative emotions are being washed away, and it leaves your mind in a state of calm and pure and free and emptiness. And I cycle through this a few times. Next is what I call the conscious breathing phase. So I breathe in through the nose, and you want to do deep breathing here, so not in your chest, but expand your diaphragm. And at the top of your breath, I hold the breath for an instant. And then I gradually exhale again through my nose. And when you've finished exhaling and the lungs are devoid of all air, I pause for an instant. And that gives you a sense of absolute emptiness and stillness. And I'll cycle through that for some time. And then lastly, I come to the final phase where I focus on my key or my mantra. And just a word on the key or the mantra, which I think is critical. I think your mantra or your key should have deep personal resonance with you and should invoke a sense of calm and serenity and tranquility for you. A mantra I tend to recommend, particularly for my Western clients, is the word calm. It's a short two-syllable word that you can synchronize with your breathing. It ends with the therapeutic sound, similar to the word or the mantra Om, which some believe is the sound of the universe. And most importantly, it embodies the very goal of meditation, which is to try and arrive at a state of mental stillness and mental quiet and mental calmness. So what I do here is that I'm silently chanting my mantra and I'm synchronizing it with my breathing. I'm try and visualize the letters of the mantra as I am breathing and focusing on the word calm. And then finally, if there's an image that you associate, a personalized image that you associate with the word calm, then you might want to try and invoke that. For instance, some people find the visual of a gently flickering candle very therapeutic. So that might be a visual you might want to invoke with the word calm. Now, it is the nature of the mind to wander. That's what the mind does. And anytime or once you're aware that the mind is consciously wandering and you're actively engaged with a thought, then you want to try and tamp the mind back to neutral, back to center, and come back through invoking your meditation routine to arrive at a state of mental stillness and mental quiet. And initially, I would just simply try and push the thought away from my mind when I was actively aware that I was engaged with thought. But the nature of the mind being what it is, the thought comes bubbling right back. And so here I found an element of mindfulness quite effective. Instead of pushing the thought away, I address, label, and file the thought away. So I give the thought a bit of attention, I label it, and I file it away for my subconscious to try and process it. And as you're doing this through time, I found that taking it one step further, and it happens almost unconsciously and instantly, where you'll trace the thought back to the point of origin, and it helps completely resolve the thought. And when this happens, this is why I think meditation further helps forge connections and pattern recognition, because the thought leads on to thought, leads on to thought, which helps you process the chain of events. Now, if you're under stress, as we normally are in our normal lives, you can just give yourself a mini meditation timeout. You eliminate all thoughts from your mind. You consciously breathe, regulate your breathing, and you invoke your mantra. Similarly, at night, if you're tossing and turning, unable to sleep, and your mind is in sort of cacophonous overdrive, again, try and invoke your meditation routine. You eliminate all thoughts from your mind, you clear the mind, you consciously regulate your breathing, and you invoke your mantra. Now, in closing, because people frequently ask, how long should I meditate for? And there's this wonderful quip, and it may well be apocryphal, but this a student at the end of a meditation routine retreat asked his teacher, how long should I meditate for? Would 10 minutes be sufficient? And the teacher replies, yes, 10 minutes will be sufficient. And then the student says, but what if I'm really busy? And the teacher, without skipping a beat, says, in that case, 20 minutes. So the important thing is to do it. Even if it's for a few minutes a day, find the time. It doesn't have to be the perfect setting and the perfect environment and the perfect time, but it could be in the shower, it could be while you're waiting for your computer to boot up. Start your meditation routine. And once you start with it, I think you arrive at this sort of sublime state of serenity and tranquility. It's almost like a delicious sense of detachment. And that state is so blissful that you want to keep coming back to your meditation and persisting with it. Well, thank you for listening, and savor your meditation journey.